Welcome to the official travel guide channel. We go through everything about travel, leisure, and travel recommendations. This video will show you everything that you need to know about Aruba and why you should add it to your list of places you'd like to visit. Aruba is a must-visit location for top holiday places. It's difficult for us to pick just one reason to suggest this island because you will love it so much. Beautiful white sand beaches, turquoise waters that are warm and transparent, year-round sunshine, opulent lodgings, cutting-edge infrastructure, hospitable residents, unusual activities, the list goes on. It is one of our favorite island getaways and the destination for anyone looking for the perfect tropical getaway. Explorers may set out to visit long-lost shipwrecks and have breakfast and snorkeling excursions on private boats. Food lovers can witness local cooks prepare extraordinary fusion delicacies right in front of their very eyes. Creatives can appreciate the outdoor art scene in places like San Nicolas. Travel Guide advises scheduling a lengthy visit, even though this tiny island is less than 70 square miles in size, because there is plenty to learn and always something new. Number 1. Most likely, you'll want to rent a vehicle. During your trip to Aruba, you might wonder if you need a car. We strongly advise renting a car. You can tour the island at your own pace. Going beach hopping is one of the best things to do in Aruba. In light of this, having a car will provide you the freedom to get away from cruise ship tourists in Oranjestad, the capital city. We advise taking a car to the less busy southern beaches of the island, such as Baby Beach and Rodgers Beach. You can go grocery shopping, explore neighborhood restaurants, and even visit the natural pools without taking a tour if you have a rental car. Consider this. Would you prefer to wait for buses or cabs on vacation? Number 2. To have a pleasant time, you don't necessarily need to stay at a resort. When you initially consider taking a trip to Aruba, it can seem impossible to do so on a tight budget. The larger and more expensive resorts are generally the ones with the most marketing you'll encounter. Now, if you have the money, you could stay at one of the more upscale luxury hotels right on Eagle or Palm Beach. You don't have to break the bank to find top-notch lodging in Aruba. Airbnb has many reasonably priced vacation apartments. Number 3. The most serene beaches are farthest from cruise ports. Eagle Beach, which is routinely ranked as one of the top beaches in the world, is one of Aruba's most popular tourist destinations. In reality, many of the island's resorts are nearby as those in Palm Beach. Due to its size, Eagle Beach is less congested than Palm Beach, although you may still want to check out the other beaches on the opposite side of the island. The beaches further out from the ports will be the least crowded alternative, particularly if you notice a lot of cruise ship passengers on Aruba for the day. Therefore, renting a car is usually a smart move. Number 4. The hurricane season won't be a concern. The hurricane season should normally be taken into account while planning a trip to the Caribbean. The peak season of this time of year is from August to October, and prices for travel and lodging are often lower during this period. However, there is always a chance that a powerful tropical storm will interfere with your journey. However, due to Aruba's location outside the hurricane belt, you won't need to worry about the hurricane season when you are arranging a trip there. In reality, Hurricane Felix from 2007 was the most recent hurricane to threaten Aruba, yet it did little harm. Aruba is one of the 5 Caribbean islands with the lowest storm risk. Number 5. It is vital to wear sunscreen, so be ready. It's always a good idea to use sunscreen when taking a trip to the Caribbean, so carry sunblock in your suitcase to save time and money. 30 FPS or higher is recommended. One of the most important things to know about Aruba is that many visitors mistakenly believe that the sun doesn't shine very brightly due to the windy climate. However, pause for a moment and consider how near this island is to the equator. The more direct sunlight enters the atmosphere, the closer you are to the equator. Additionally, Aruba's beach's white sand reflects the sun rays. Bring extra sunscreen if you intend to swim so you can reapply after you get out of the water. Number 6. It is okay to drink the water. Aruba's water is pure, unlike many other tropical locations. There's no justification for buying bottled water. Their water is clean from the faucet because of their destination facility. The facility distills salt water to produce fresh water for the island. Number 7. One of the best beaches in the world is in Aruba. Avoid skipping Eagle Beach. According to TripAdvisor's 2017 Traveler Awards, Eagle Beach is the third best beach in the world. And what's not to love about white sand beaches lined with divvy trees and blue waters? It's simple to understand why. Is that where I can find one of them flamingos? You might ask. Even though Eagle Beach is one of the nicest beaches in the world, you won't be able to take classic flamingo pictures there. You only need to go to the Renaissance Aruba private island to find Flamingo Beach in Aruba. The basic rule of thumb is to travel further out from the ports if you want to visit Aruba's greatest beaches. It will ensure you are as far away from the crowds as possible while enjoying a pleasant and serene day. Number 8. Weather. This Aruba travel advice will overjoy any traveler. Leave your umbrella at home and only bring sunscreen. In Aruba, it rains virtually daily. Nearly all year round, the temperature is around 82 degrees Fahrenheit. You won't ever feel too hot because of the trade winds, but just remember to bring sunscreen. Aruba is so close to the equator. Thus, it is crucial now more than ever to protect your skin by slathering with sunscreen. In addition to providing more direct sunlight, the white sand will reflect it like a newly fallen snow on a mountain. Wearing the appropriate sunscreen is essential, particularly if you intend to swim in ponds, lakes, or the ocean. The chemicals you decide to use can damage coral and cause harm to marine life. Therefore, please use sunscreen that won't harm coral reefs. Number 9. Charges for restaurant services. Aruba doesn't have as many fraudsters as many other nations, so it's a good idea to be aware of restaurants' customary 15% service charge. There is nearly always a 15% service charge applied to the restaurant bills. Your waitress will deny that this is gratuity if you inquire about it. It will motivate you to donate an additional 15 to 20%. They do receive a tip of 15%. Their payment will include this gratuity. If the service is great, feel free to tip a little extra if you'd like, but don't feel obligated to do so on top of the service costs. Number 10. What to bring to Aruba. Aruba packing is not difficult. Consider resort attire, bathing suits, and clothing appropriate for the beach. We advise getting a beautiful pair of sandals, having numerous swimsuits, especially if you intend to visit several beaches, and wearing light, breathable fabrics to keep you cool. Travel Vlog strongly advises bringing insect repellent if you intend to explore the island beyond your resort and lodging, especially if you are prone to mosquito bites. You should also bring sunglasses, a beach bag you don't mind getting sandy, and sun hats and sunscreen that's safe for coral reefs. Number 11. Is Aruba safe? As a travel channel, we have spent many months traveling around the Caribbean and Mexico, and we are frequently questioned about safety in the many beach resort areas of the region. Travelers run hazards wherever they go, whether they visit New York City, Europe, or the Caribbean. Unfortunately, some Caribbean islands have greater crime rates than other regions of the world due to the history of colonialism, economies that are solely dependent on tourism, and deeply ingrained inequality. However, Aruba is one of the most secure exceptions to many issues other Caribbean islands face. With low rates of both violence and minor crimes, Aruba routinely ranks as one of the safest vacation spots in the Caribbean. Naturally, you should use common sense and protect yourself from issues that affect tourists everywhere, theft of valuables and the like. Aruba's reputation as one happy island may contribute. That catchphrase has economic roots, so it's not just a catchphrase. When we inquired about all the smiles we observed while there, a local at the Bay Beach Club and Spa informed us that most of the island's citizens are middle class, which is not typically the case in Caribbean vacation spots. In Aruba, this regulates living expenses and social classism, lowering inequality and fostering a higher standard of living across the island. Number 12. Scuba diving and snorkeling. If you enjoy the ocean, Aruba has a variety of affordable water sports such as scuba diving and snorkeling. Some snorkeling sports are right off the beach, while others require a rental car or boat excursion. Of course, the Antilla Shipwreck is the most well-known place, but Mangalhalto is the best. Number 13. Cash is king in Aruba, so bring plenty of it. Despite having its monetary system, Aruba accepts the US dollar everywhere. Therefore, there's no need to exchange money. We anticipated that we would require some cash, but we have become accustomed to the fact that credit cards are now generally accepted worldwide. Credit cards are even safer because they have no foreign transaction fees and will refund any fraudulent charges. Number 14. In Aruba, stores are closed on Sundays. We understand that everyone needs a day of rest. Hence, in Aruba, the downtown shops are closed. Therefore, be aware that Sundays in Oranjestad, Aruba are largely quiet. 15. Although a passport is required, a visa is not required to enter Aruba. US, Canadian, and EU citizens do not need a visa in advance to go to Aruba. The same is true of China and several of Aruba's close neighbors, including Mexico and Colombia. All you have to do to get a free 30-day visa stamp is present your passport to the immigration official when you arrive. Remember that there is a stringent 180-day limit on tourist visits each year if you fall in love with Aruba and want to stay longer. Number 16. In Aruba, gambling is permitted. Travelers to Aruba don't just come for the sun, sand, and relaxation. Some also come to test their luck in the local casinos. Aruba has independent casinos scattered all over the island, but as it is a very popular hobby, all main resorts have their own in-game gaming establishments. While some casinos remain open from noon until the small morning hours, others continue to operate around the clock. Play a round of Caribbean stud poker for a taste of something regional. Number 17. In Aruba, 18 is the minimum age for gambling and drinking. Although most visitors to Aruba won't likely be affected by this, it's still a good idea to be aware of it if you're organizing a spring break getaway or family vacation. Anyone at least 18 years old may enter Aruba's many pubs and casinos, get alcohol, and place bets there. 18. Experience an Aruba sunset cruise. An Aruban-style cruise is a perfect way to start an exciting evening on the turquoise waters. Couples and honeymooners can enjoy a romantic cruise highlighting the island's natural beauty. As the sun sets over the horizon, bask in its rays as you watch the sky turn dazzling orange and amber. As the sun goes down, you'll see that a cluster of brilliant stars fills the sky, providing an outstanding sight. You should share this beautiful encounter with the one you love. Number 19. Experience a violent UTV ride in Aruba. Embark on a utility task vehicle, or UTV, and explore Aruba's arid, rocky environment. Being able to drive your own UTV allows you to select whether you want to race around curves or accelerate over bumps. You will see the stunning vistas and incredible landscapes while you're driving. Your tour guide will direct you to the Boca Cave Pool throughout the excursion. Here you can engage in adventurous cliff jumping, adding to the adventure's excitement and value. One of the best daring things to do in Aruba, this breathtaking trip will have you gasping for air and will satisfy your urge for adventure. Number 20. The greatest parasailing experience is Palm Beach. This exhilarating activity is close to Oranjestad and will have you flying over Aruba's crystal clear waters. Here, you can take in the entire island's splendor. You can ask the skipper to dip you into the sea if you want a riskier experience. With this parasailing adventure, you will experience breathtaking views while getting all your adrenaline requirements met. Number 22. Hooiberg Mountain Hike. Hiking Hooiberg Mountains is a great option if you want to relax during your stay in Aruba. You will enjoy stunning, picturesque views and lovely flora on this little stroll. As you ascend the arduous mountain to the stunning island views, become lost in thought. You can see Venezuela on a clear day when you reach the summit. Number 23. Learn about and eat local foods. Try looking for local eateries in your area rather than partaking in the upscale cuisine that Aruba provides tourists. To get pointed in the right route, ask locals. It's quite enjoyable to wander around a place by yourself and find stuff that nobody else has. We advise you to keep an eye out for the old Cunucu House and Indo restaurants. Your taste buds will be blown away by both of these places, which will also satisfy you. Number 24. There are not flamingos everywhere. We are sorry to deflate your dreams. Flamingos on the beach would be the first image that springs to your mind when you hear Aruba. They must be everywhere because it's what you see in all the photos of tourists in Aruba, right? It would naturally make you believe that pink flamingo were plentiful across Aruba, and all you had to do to view them and take fantastic flamingo selfies was head to the beach. Sadly, you'll discover that the reality is much different. Only flamingos are present on 2 private islands, and access to each island requires purchasing a day fee. Of the 2, Renaissance Beach is the more well-known. You can enter the Renaissance Hotel for free using your room key if you are a guest. You can purchase a day pass to visit the island to see them if you're not a guest. Have you visited Aruba before? Please feel free to share your experience in the comments area. We hope you enjoy our video about Aruba Travel. Make sure to hit subscribe and ring that notification bell. Please stick with us for more travel guide videos. Travel Guide Channel makes your travel easy.